Time now for the markets with Leighton. And you say the shuttered paper mill in Natchez is coming back to life.
That's right, Artist. Mississippi River Pulp was purchased Wednesday this week by the Vondrell Corporation of North Carolina. They say 100 new jobs are being promised at that mill. It closed back in October 31st. So definitely some good news, encouraging news for the forestry products industry.
Definitely good news.
Also ahead this week in our market segment, U.S. catfish processing is up slightly. Fed cattle takes a hit. And the seed and chemical supply for spring planting is better than predicted. The monthly snapshot of the nation's farm-raised catfish industry was released Tuesday afternoon. In December, producers received a pond bank price of 83 cents per pound. Now, this is 42 cents per pound under what was paid 1 year ago. Farm sales totaled over 22.5 million pounds round weight, a slight uptick from December 2011. Processor sales were over 12.5 million pounds. That's an increase of 12% from 1 year ago. Tuesday afternoon's cold storage report from the USDA put some pressure on the cattle market. Beef stocks were higher than the general trade expected, up 5% from a month ago and up 2% compared to 1 year ago. Now, this comes on top of the January 17th announcement by Cargill that it is shutting down a packing plant in Plainview, Texas. Analyst Elaine Cubb says Cargill's action was a big hit on fed cattle in the U.S. She thinks other meat packers could possibly do the same thing.
And the whole reason for this was that packers have been losing money on their packing margins. They've been losing as much as $60 a head. So they weren't starting out the year very well. Feeders themselves were just starting to get to a situation where if they were hedged, they could have been starting to make some money. But now that this has happened, you know, the fed cattle market has certainly taken a hit. I think it's a lasting hit. Particularly when you look at the threat that other packing plants could follow suit. I don't know that any are going to. I'm not predicting that, and I certainly hope they don't. But it's the threat there. The packers certainly have shown that they are not willing to pay these prices for fed cattle anymore.
Our trivia quiz this week deals with the state's poultry industry. And here's the question. How many foreign countries receive their chicken from the state of Mississippi? Is the answer 25, or 60, or 70, or 75? You'll find out the answer in a few more minutes. This week, March cotton futures went above 80 cents for the first time in about 7 months. Although exports have been strong, Bloomberg News reports that gains are likely to be limited for cotton as global supplies of the fiber continue to grow. Analyst Don Rose says actions by one country in particular are helping support the world price of cotton.
The cotton market is really one that you have to talk about. It's a Chinese market because, you know, the bottom line is China is artificially supporting cotton. It's really not competing with polyester because of that. And if cotton was just on its own fundamentals, it'd probably be down in the 60-cent range, 60, 65 versus 75. But it looks like China's going to continue the supportive program. And so I would say that cotton right now is 75 cents is probably fair market value. You know, you rally to 80, it probably runs into a lot of resistance, and around 70, pretty good support. So, you know, they're probably going to lose acres in cotton in the U.S. this year because it's just more productive to plant other crops.
The USDA export sales report on Thursday morning shined some light on how foreign sales of U.S. wheat have been going. It seems to be that there's hardly any bullish news in the wheat market, according to a lot of traders. However, Extension Ag economist Brian Williams thinks the long-term fundamentals are good. He gave me some further analysis at midday on Wednesday. Brian, wheat futures seem to struggle a little bit early in the week. Is this a sign of some imminent problems for this market?
They did, but I think it's only short term. The long-term indicators are still strong for wheat with lower than expected production because of the drought and good demand. So I think it's only a short-term fluctuation.
So long-term, you feel fairly positive or feel that we'll have a stability in the wheat market?
Yeah, the main thing that we need to watch for is the drought. The ongoing drought in the Midwest is kind of the elephant in the room, stretching from Texas all the way up to South Dakota. So that's the one thing we want to watch for long term.
If the drought issue kind of bubble back more to the forefront than it is right now, could we see some kind of weather premium added to the wheat futures price?
I think the premium's already in there at this point. The long-term drought indicator shows that there's really no relief, at least through April, in terms of the drought. So I think it's built in there, and there's a lot more room for downside if the drought were to be relieved with some good rain through the Midwest.
All right, as we record this segment here on Wednesday, we've got really the soybean market kind of being the top performer as far as grains and oilseeds. What's going on in soybeans this week?
There's two things going on with the soybeans. We're seeing some strong economic indicators in the general economy that are helping out the demand for the soybeans. And then there's also some weather conditions going on in southern Brazil and Argentina. They're seeing some dry weather, and there's worries that that could affect the yield there and affect the world supply.
DTN reported this week the 2013 outlook for seed and agricultural chemicals is for modest price increases and plenty of supply. However, the report does say the Midwest drought did decrease the supply of certain seed corn varieties and that it also lessened germination in soybeans. Overall, the outlook is better than what some in the industry had predicted only a few months ago. Agricultural chemical prices, by the way, are said to be tracking close to the 2012 price levels. Well, before the feature story, here's the trivia answer for you. And this week, it is B. 60 foreign countries receive their chicken from the state of Mississippi.